morning, my friends. God's blessings upon you. Let's praise the Lord together, my friends. We have all awakened in God's shelter. Now we've come to praise His name together. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good my friend, my friend. Sing Hosanna, oh, Hosanna, hallelujah, hallelujah. Allahu Akbar in the sanctuary of our Lord's protection and the stronghold of our Lord's defense. With His love, our spirits are illumined as we glorify His name. Our hearts are blessed. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, my friend, my friend. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, my friend, my friend. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm just going to let that string keep ringing out. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Folks in the Zoom, we see we have Yuta and we have Terry. Good morning. And hi there, Jeremiah. Jeremiah is not on site today. He's elsewhere, but he's still manning the helm of our Zoom and everything. And we have Nevada here with us. Good morning, Nevada. How are you?
Good morning.
And hey, out there in Facebook land, and I think we have some people already with us here. I'm not sure. And yes, I'm getting out of my chair, and I'm going to go look at the screen and see if I can say hello to any of the folks that are here right now. You know, actually, Geedy's here. Hi, Geedy. How you doing?
Good
Geedy,
morning,
I want you to
Geety.
know. And who is that? That looks like Terrence is also in the in the Facebook as well. He says if he loses us on one, he'll keep us on another. But hi, Geedy. And tell Farhad we said hello, and we love you. Yeah. And how you doing today, Daryl?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well until you gave me the bad news. I was doing better, but you know, bad
Sorry
news.
about that.
Bad news regarding the state of the world, and so it's not a personal thing, but it's just the state of the world. And so you know, I'm going to shift my chair a little bit here. I think this might be slightly better. I don't know that it is, but I'm going to leave it like that anyway. Um, yeah. So Daryl,
So why don't we start with a prayer, Tony? I've got just the prayer.
I think that's a good idea.
O thou compassionate Lord, thou who art generous and able, we are servants of thine, sheltered beneath thy providence. Cast thy glance of favor upon us. Give light to our eyes, hearing to our ears, and understanding and love to our hearts. Render our souls joyous and happy through thy glad tidings. O Lord, point out to us the pathway of thy kingdom and resuscitate all of us through the breath of the Holy Spirit. Bestow upon us life everlasting and confer upon us never-ending honor. Unify mankind and illumine the world of humanity. May we all follow thy pathway, long for thy good pleasure, and seek the mysteries of thy kingdom. O God, unite us and connect our hearts with thy indissoluble bond. Verily, thou art the giver, thou art the kind one, and thou art the Almighty. Abdul Bahar.
Yes, yes. I noticed something about you, Daryl. You have a prayer voice.
Oh, you think so?
You have a regular voice, and then you have a reverent and lofty prayer voice.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. I've noticed that before. I just never spoke about it, but
Okay.
yeah. So, if you've been joining us, and even if you haven't, what we're doing is we're continuing our study of the seven valleys and the four valleys. And here is that there are various printed versions of it. You can get it for free on Oceans 2.0 or Oceans.
Ocean.
Yeah, Ocean. Yeah, Ocean. You're right. You can have that app on your phone, or perhaps you can either contact Baha'i Publishing Trust and even get the book, or maybe you've got a Baha'i center somewhere near you with a bookstore where you can actually purchase the book. But we are in the seven valleys and the four valleys, and we are in the Valley of Wonderment.
Yes.
I believe it is. We started that last week, did we not?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and there are a couple of things that in reading this accompanying book, which is a self-study for the seven valleys of Baha'u'llah. Uh, I love this book. I love this book. I'll just leave it at that again. But um, the beginning of the Valley of Wonderment starts out. I just want to kind of say, he seeth, and now he seeth the shape of wealth as poverty itself, and the essence of freedom as sheer impotence. And it says the word wealth here is a translation of the word, and I'm sure I'm going to ruin these words because they're new to me. Gina. And freedom here is a translation of the word istigna or istigna. Perhaps some of our Middle Eastern friends might help me with that. But it says both words come from the same root. And it says istigna is also translated as contentment in the phrase the valley of contentment and as independence elsewhere. And he says, in the context of this discourse, we might consider istigna to mean self-sufficiency and freedom from needs. Thus, this sentence could be understood to mean that the seeker, remember I was talking about the Valley of Wonderment, the seeker now sees the shape of wealth as true poverty from the world, and the essence of self-sufficiency and freedom from needs as sheer need for spiritual wealth and dependency on divine guidance. I just thought it'd be nice to kind of point that out. There's just so much here that, I mean, it is a self-study, but still, it gives us so much more insight into, makes more connections. I'll put it that way. And I'll go ahead and give you a heads up, Daryl. There is later on. I know we're going to get to this paragraph. I'm going to read a rather lengthy section from Gems of Divine Mysteries. But anyway, I'll stop right there.
Okay.
Okay.
Indeed, O brother, if we ponder each created thing, we shall witness a myriad perfect wisdoms and learn a myriad new and wondrous truths. One of the created phenomena is the dream. Behold, how many secrets are deposited therein, how many wisdoms treasured up, how many worlds concealed. Observe how thou art asleep in a dwelling, and its doors are barred. On a sudden thou findest thyself in a far-off city, which thou enterest without moving thy feet or wearying thy body, without using thine eyes. Thou seest without taxing thine ears. Thou hearest without a tongue. thou speakest, without a tongue thou speakest. And perchance when 10 years are gone, thou wilt witness the outer world, in the outer world, the very things thou hast dreamed tonight. 10 years. Now there are many wisdoms to ponder the dream, which none but the people of this valley can comprehend in their true elements. First, what is this world? Where without eye and ear, hand and tongue, a man puts all of these to use. Second, how is it that in the outer world thou seest today the effect of a dream, when thou didst vision it in the world of sleep some 10 years past? Consider the difference between these two worlds and the mysteries which they concealed. Thou mayest attain to divine confirmations and heavenly discoveries and enter the regions of holiness. God, the exalted, hath placed these signs in men to the end that philosophers may not deny the mysteries of the life beyond, nor belittle that which hath been promised them. For some hold to reason and deny whatever the reason comprehendeth not. And yet, weak minds can never grasp the matters which have related, but only the supreme divine intelligence can comprehend them. How can feeble reason encompass the Quran, or the spider's snare a phoenix in her web? All these states are to be witnessed in the valley of wonderment, and the traveler at every moment seeketh for more and is not wearied. Thus the Lord of the first and the last, in setting forth the grades of contemplation and expressing wonderment, hath said, O Lord, increase my astonishment at thee. Likewise, reflect upon the perfection of man's creation, and that all these planes and states are folded up and hidden away within him.
Okay, I'm stopping you right there, Daryl, because there's a little bit of insight here about that line, "Oh Lord, increase my astonishment at thee." And in this text, it says the tradition, "O Lord, increase my astonishment at thee," is a hadith attributed to Muhammad and is mentioned in many places in the Baha'i writings. Increase my astonishment at thee. For example, in Gems of Divine Mysteries, Baha'u'llah states, know thou that he who embarketh upon this journey will marvel at the signs of the power of God and the wondrous evidences of his handiwork. Remembering we are in the valley of wonderment. Bewilderment will seize him from every side, even as hath been attested by that essence of immortality from the concourse on high. And here's a quote: "Increase my wonder and amazement at thee, O God. Well hath it been said, I knew," and this is from Gem of Divine Mysteries, this sentence I'm about to read, "I knew not what amazement was until I made thy love my cause." Oh, how amazing would it be? Oh, how amazing would it be if I were not amazed by thee? This is actually a brief little poem. I'm going to say it again. I knew not what amazement was until I made thy love my cause. Oh, how amazing would it be if I were not amazed by thee? That's a song, man.
That's a song.
It really is. Wow. Okay, I'll stop there. I don't want to, but we do need to move on. So,
Likewise, reflect upon the perfection of man's creation, and that all these planes and states are folded up and hidden away within him. Dost thou reckon thyself only a puny form, when within thee the universe is folded? I'm going to read that one again.
yes.
Dost thou reckon thyself only a puny form, when within thee the universe is folded?
You know, as you're reading reading
Excuse
that
me.
line, and I thought about this when I was reading it. I'm sure you're familiar with that verse from, I think it's from Gleanings. Man is the supreme talisman. Talisman, for anyone who doesn't know, and I don't mean to make anyone feel that you're ignorant. I had to look it up the first time I read it. That's why. But a talisman is a magic object, something that has great power. And Baha'u'llah says man is the supreme talisman.
Yes.
But guess what he goes on to say? Lack of education, and this is my paraphrasing, has kept him from revealing all the treasures within him.
Sure.
I mean, lack of education, but that's not the topic today. But when you read that line, read that again, please, Gerald. Would you please read that line again?
Dost thou recognize self only a puny form, when within thee the universe is folded?
Wow.
Folded. The universe is
Yes,
folded.
the universe is folded. And the next line, just as important.
Then we must labor to destroy the animal condition till the meaning of humanity shall come to light.
Yes. Well, wait a minute. Okay, I'm looking for some insight on your part now, Daryl. It says we must labor to destroy the animal condition. Um, your thoughts? Just-
Well, I think I need to think a little more about this, but man is subject to his own will.
yeah.
And when you think about when he's subject to his own will, very often it is not the loftiest.
Yeah.
His choices are not the loftiest choices in the
I
world,
mean, yeah.
which puts him in the animal kingdom.
Yeah, and you know what?
So we have to work to get rid of that those animal traits.
Yes.
So
There you go.
and that's work, and that's what it's saying.
It's
Here.
hard work.
We have to work to do that
Hey, I just
till
saw
the meaning
something.
of humanity shall come to light.
Yeah. And to kind of dovetail on that, dost thou recognize thyself only a puny form within the universe is folded. There's a note here that says this is a tradition attributed to the Imam Ali, sources of poetry in the Baha'i writings, and it says the highest levels of perfection of the mineral kingdom, the vegetation kingdom, and the animal kingdom. The most complicated natural processes are present in man.
In man, right?
Man's intellectual powers enable him to rule the natural world. But here we're being told, if you want to go beyond that, let's just say,
Right.
if you want to go beyond that, labor to destroy the animal condition till the meaning of humanity shall come to light. Man, I'm reading this line, this verse, because this is not something from another source. This is Baha'u'llah. We must labor to destroy the animal condition till the meaning of humanity shall come to light. And I think about again all of the terrible things that are going on right now,
Yes.
because there are so many people that are not laboring to destroy the animal condition within themselves and seeing the true meaning of humanity within themselves. Okay, I won't belabor it anymore.
Thus, too, Luqman, who had drunk from the wellspring of wisdom and tasted the waters of mercy, in proving to his son Nathan the plains of resurrection and death, advanced the dream as an evidence and an example. Related here that through this evanescent servant, a memory may endure of that youth of the second divine unity, that elder of the art.
Wait a minute. Go back to the youth of the school.
The youth of the school of divine.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That youth of the school of divine unity, that elder of the art of instruction and the absolute. He said, O son, if thou art able not to sleep, then thou art able not to die.
Mhm.
He said, O son, if thou art able not to sleep, then thou art not able to die. And if thou art not, and if thou art able not to waken after sleep, then thou shalt be able not to rise after death.
Okay, let's go read that again.
Yeah, I
All
need
those
to.
knots can
I
be
need
kind of
to.
confusing.
He said, O son, if thou art able not to sleep, then thou art not able.
No, that's not what it says.
Thou art able not to die. I keep reversing the words. Thou art able not to die. And if thou art able not to waken after sleep, then thou shalt be able not to rise after death.
Now, because Baha'u'llah is referring to Luqman, who I don't know about you, but I never heard of him. And I could say that about a million other things we're reading. I have to go look up. Turns out Luqman was an Ethiopian philosopher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it said he had drunk, as he said, thus too Luqman, who had drunk from the wellspring of wisdom and tasted of the waters of mercy, improving to his son the plains of resurrection and death. So you remember when we read about the dream
That's right.
okay, you dream about something, maybe even later, 10 years later, the thing you dreamt about
Comes true.
could come true.
Right.
Yeah, it's not to say the same thing about all dreams, but it could happen. And he was saying that Luqman advanced the dream as an evidence and an example. Of course, Baha'u'llah is pointing this out, for the purpose of example. Servant of memory. Let's see, we related here that through this evanescent servant, which is a reference that Baha'u'llah is making to himself, a memory may endure of that youth of the school of divine unity. Whoa! A memory may endure of that youth of the school of divine unity, that elder of the art of instruction and the absolute. And so he's still speaking of Luqman.
Right.
Yeah. But this still, it's hard for me to wrap my brain around. Oh, son, if thou art able not to sleep, then thou art able not to die. And if thou art able not to waken after sleep, then thou shalt be able not to
Not
rise
after death.
after death. Okay, maybe it'll get clear for me. Go ahead.
O friend, the heart is the dwelling of eternal mysteries. Make it not the home of fleeting fancies.
Mm,
Waste not the treasure of thy precious life in employment with this swiftly passing world. Thou comest from the world of holiness. Bind not thine heart to the earth. Thou art a dweller in the court of nearness. Choose not the homeland of the dust.
you know, that is, it points out
Excuse
that
me.
Baha'u'llah provides the same admonishment in the hidden words, and I'll bet you'll recognize this. Oh, my friend, thou art the day star of the heavens of my holiness. Let not the defilement of the world eclipse thy splendor. Rend asunder the veil of heedlessness, that from behind the clouds thou mayest emerge resplendent and array all things with the apparel of life.
Yeah. In some, in some, SUM, there is no end to the description of these stages. But because of the wrongs inflicted by the peoples of the earth, this servant is in no mood to continue. The tale is still unfinished, and I have no heart for it. Then pray, forgive me.
Okay. I had mentioned to Daryl before we came on this morning that there's a rather lengthy passage I wanted to read that I think gives, I'll just read it. It says, at the time of the revelation of the seven valleys, and subsequently, when gems of divine mysteries, another writing of Baha'u'llah, was revealed, Baha'u'llah was being attacked by his enemies and persecuted by members of his own family. I don't know about you, but I've had to have multiple conversations with different people over the years about, well, what did Baha'u'llah go through? And
Mm.
I'll admit I was very much uh, at a loss because I had not read at that time, at some of those times, what he went through so much. This is just a brief reference to that, Baha'u'llah says, were I to disclose unto thee the reality of this station, thou wouldst lament and bewail the plight of this servant, the servant being Baha'u'llah, this servant who remaineth in the hands of these infidels, who hath grown perplexed at his plight, and is lost in bewilderment in this fathomless ocean. They conspire each day to put me to death, and seek at every hour to banish me from this land, even as they banished me from another land. Yet this servant standeth ready before them, awaiting whatsoever the Almighty hath ordained and decreed for us. Nor do I fear any soul, encompassed as we may be by such trials and tribulations as are inflicted by the wicked and the malicious, and surrounded at this hour by a myriad woes and sorrows. Noah's flood is but the measure of the tears I have shed, and Abraham's fire an ebullition of my soul. I had to look up ebullition. It is an outburst of emotion or violence, a bubbling up of emotion or violence. And Abraham's fire an ebullition of my soul. Jacob's grief is but a reflection of my sorrows, and Job's afflictions a fraction of my calamity. That's from Gems of Divine Mysteries. I just felt that, I don't know, sometimes I wonder if people who are listening, may have those questions of, did Baha'u'llah really go through very much? Yeah, he did. This song.
And the fact is, he did even before he declared.
Yes, you are
his
right.
mission.
You are right.
He went through quite a bit before he even declared his mission.
Here's a song we have we haven't done in a long time, and I'm glad Jeremiah suggested it, and I'm glad you jumped on board with it, because it was not a song I would have chosen for today, but it's perfect. Could have slowed it down. Slow it down some more. Sun is rising on a new day, shedding light across the land. The Father's showing us the right way to take His love to all of man. But some keep fighting, some keep killing, shedding blood around the world. But keep believing, keep on praying. One day God's kingdom will be unfurled. Cause all we want is peace high on every mountain. All we want is peace down in every valley. All we want is peace flowing like a river. May it never cease. All we want is peace. Hear the sounds of children crying. Hear the mothers and the fathers weep. See them bury their sons and daughters. See the pain that goes so deep. How'd we ever come to this place? We all know of a better way. We can put a smile on God's face and start a brand new day. Cause all we want is peace high on every mountain. All we want is peace down in every valley. All we want is peace flowing like a river. May it never cease. All we want is peace, red, yellow, brown, black and white. Mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers, rich and poor, captive and free. All we want is peace forever. every Jew and Zoroastrian, for every Buddhist, every Baha'i and Hindu, every child of God. There's a way that we can live as one. All those rockets, all those rifles, why don't we take them and melt them down? Then build the plowshares to feed the hungry, like Jesus said, till no more hunger can be found. 'Cause all we want is peace out in the mountain. All we want is peace down in every valley. All we want is peace, flowing like a river, may it never cease. All we want is peace. For every Muslim, every Christian, every Jew and every Zoroastrian, for every Buddhist, every Baha'i and Hindu, every child of God, there's a way we can live as one. All those rockets, those rifles, why don't you take them and melt them down? Build the plowshares to feed the hungry, like Jesus said, till no more hunger can be found. 'Cause all we want is peace out on every mountain. All we want is peace down in every valley. All we want is peace, flowing like a river, may it never cease. All we want is peace. 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 That's all we want. We just want peace. Well, it is, I don't know, do we have time to continue a little more reading or?
Sure.
Okay. Maybe we can actually get to the end of the Valley of Wonderment.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
What if I read really fast?
You can try.
Oh, no. You do know that this is, well, we've only got
It's
one
a longer chapter.
This is, no, the Valley of Wonderment, this is the end of this is the end of this chapter.
Oh, okay.
This page, yeah.
All right, sir.
So then we must
Carry
labor
on.
to destroy the animal condition till the meaning of humanity shall come to light. And you know what? You think about it. The meaning of humanity. That's a topic in and of itself.
Yes.
Thus, too, Luqman, who had drunk from the wellspring of wisdom and tasted of the waters of mercy.
We went over that already.
Yeah, I know, but since I started, I figured I'd just go ahead and stay there. I discovered it once I started reading. Luqman, who had drunk from the wellspring of wisdom and tasted of the waters of mercy, in proving to his son Nathan the plains of resurrection and death, advanced the dream as an evidence and an example. We relate it here, that's right, I remember. We relate it here that through this evanescent servant, a memory may endure of that youth of the school of divine unity, that elder of the art of instruction and the absolute. He said, O son, If thou art able not to sleep, then thou art able not to die. And if thou art able not to waken after sleep, then thou shalt be able not to rise after death. O friend, the heart, the heart is the dwelling of eternal mysteries. Make it not the home of fleeting fancies. Waste not the treasure of thy precious life in employment with this swiftly passing world. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I'm going to read that again. Waste not the treasure of thy precious life in employment with this swiftly passing world. Thou comest from the world of holiness. Bind not thine heart to the earth. Thou art a dweller in the court of nearness. Choose not the homeland of the dust. Wow. Thou comest from the world of holiness. That means you were pre-existent on some level. Thou comest from the world of holiness. Bind not thine heart to the earth. Thou art a dweller in the court of nearness. Choose not the homeland of the dust. In sum, there is no end to the description of these stages. That's S-U-M, as Agadero pointed out when he read it earlier. In sum, in other words, to conclude, there is no end to the description of these stages, but because of the wrongs inflicted by the peoples of the earth, this servant, Baha'u'llah, is in no mood to continue. I guess even Baha'u'llah got a little, annoyed sometimes. The tale is still unfinished, and I have no heart for it. Then pray, forgive me. The pen groaneth, and the ink sheddeth tears, and the river of the heart moveth in waves of blood. Nothing can befall us but what God hath destined for us. Peace be upon him who followeth the right path. And then we move on to the next valley, and I'll just read that sentence. After scaling the high summits of wonderment, the wayfarer cometh to the valley of poverty and absolute nothingness. And with that, we will stop. And that will be our final chapter, the valley
Pick
of
up
true
next
poverty
week.
and absolute nothingness. Yeah, and that'll probably be a couple of weeks, I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah. A couple of weeks.
kind of belongs.
You could do it by yourself in one day, but with me, I'm like. At this time, anyone who would like to offer up a prayer or a reading of your choosing, this is that time. So please feel free.
Looks like Andy's with us today.
Andy's with us. I didn't. Oh my goodness.
Good morning, Andy.
Hey there, Andy. How you doing? Andy, do you have anything to share with us today?
Yes.
Please feel free to do so.
Blessed is this spot in the house, in the place, in the city, in the heart, and the mountain, and the refuge, in the cave, and the valley, and the land, and the sea, and the island, and the meadow where mention of God hath been made, and his praise glorified. Blessed is the spot and the house and the place, and the city and the heart and the mountain, and the refuge and the cave and the valley, and the land, and the sea and the island, and the meadow where mention of God his praise glorified.
Thank you so much, Auntie. Thank you. That was beautiful. We've missed you. We're glad you're back.
My
Is there
pleasure
anyone
to
else
be
who would
here.
like to share?
Yeah, give me a minute.
Please, Terry.
In his name, the exalted, the all highest, the most sublime. Glorified art thou, O Lord my God, thou who art my God and my master and my Lord, and my support and my hope, and my refuge and my light. I ask of thee by thy hidden and treasured name, which none knoweth save thine own self, to protect the bearer of this tablet from every calamity and pestilence, and from every wicked man and woman, from the evil of the evildoers, from the scheming of the unbelievers. Preserve him, moreover, O my God, from every pain and vexation, O thou who holdest in thy hand the empire of all things. Thou truly art powerful over all things. Thou doest as thou wouldest, and ordainest as thou pleasest. O thou King of kings, O thou kind Lord, O thou source of ancient bounty, of grace, of generosity and bestowal, O thou healer of sicknesses, O thou sufficer of needs, O thou light of light, O thou light above all lights, O thou revealer of every manifestation, O thou the compassionate, O thou the merciful, do thou have mercy upon the bearer of this tablet, through thy most great mercy and thine abundant grace. O thou the gracious, thou the bounteous, guard him moreover, through thy protection from whatsoever his heart and mind may find repugnant. Of those endued with power, thou verily art the most powerful. The glory of God rest upon thee, O thou rising sun. Do thou testify unto that which God hath testified of his own self, that there is none other God besides him, the Almighty, the best beloved. From Baha'u'llah.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to share?
Yes, Estelle.
Please.
الهی الهی سراج امرت را به دهن حکمت برافروختی، از اریاه مختلف حفظش نما، سراج است و زجاج است و اسباب آسمان و زمین در قبضه قدرت تو. امرا را عدل عنایت فرما و علما را انصاف. تویی آن مقتدری که به حرکت قلم امر مبرمت را نصرت فرمودی و اولیا را نمودی. تویی مالک قدرت و ملیک اقتدار. لا اله الا انت العزیز المختار.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to share?
Yes, I would.
Please. Is that Kim?
Yes. I
Let's
don't know how
read
to
it.
get my video on.
Okay, please,
Okay.
Kim.
Okay. O my God, O thou forgiver of sins, bestower of gifts, dispellers of afflictions. Verily, I beseech thee to forgive the sins of such as have abandoned the physical garment and have ascended to the spiritual world. O my Lord, purify them from trespasses, dispel their sorrows, and change their darkness into light. Cause them to enter the garden of happiness, cleanse them with the most pure water, and grant them to behold thy splendors on the loftiest mount.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you. Anyone else who would like to share? Well, then, at this time, this is a time when we always like to remind you this is a joint effort. People of various communities come together to bring you this program on a regular basis. And yeah, if you and if you'd like any more information about the Baha'i faith, or if you would simply like to follow along, or if you'd like to even consider the possibility of joining this cause, there are places that you can find some very authoritative and credible information. We always like to refer you to some specific websites. And what are those websites again, Daryl?
Those websites are www.baha'i.org, www.baha'i.us, www.bahaiteachings.org, and www.clearwaterbaha'is.org.
Yes. And if you happen to be in the Clearwater area, we're out here right now at the Clearwater Center, where we usually are on Sunday morning. Sometimes we don't have this program, but this is where we do record the program here at the Clearwater Baha'i Center in Clearwater, Florida. And if you happen to be in the area during this time, please feel free to stop by, or possibly at other times. There are other times when people are here, but this is the time that we do this program on a regular basis. And I'd like to say that there are also other online devotionals, and I'm saying that specifically because Utah, who always joins us on Sunday morning here, also has an online devotion. Am I correct, Yuta? I hope I'm not putting you on the spot there. Maybe I am. I don't know. But she does have an online devotion, and I get the email about it, but the time doesn't work for me. Yeah, it's just important I think it's important to let people know that there are other devotions that are occurring online. We always appreciate you choosing to join us for an hour.
Yes, I have it on Sunday evenings at 7:30.
Sunday evenings at 7:40.
No,
Yuta.
30.
30.
Okay, well, you can show up 10 minutes late if you want to. No, 7.
Only you.
Yes.
No, that's
Don't let him
okay.
get away with
No,
it.
I actually moved mine, which was at 10 o'clock, that people could attend yours.
Oh, well,
So
Yuta,
the
thank you.
time is still flexible. We have to see how people like it on Sunday evenings. So
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
but for
Thank
now
you.
it's 7:30.
Okay, so,
Appreciate
And if
and
we,
where was that? I know yours is Zoom, correctly? Is it specifically just Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and so they'd have to get the email to get the Zoom number to go into the meeting.
Yeah, I have to. Usually the secretaries have it. They don't always send it out. I
Mhm.
can, I don't know. I will just send it to you. You get it, right?
I do get your email, yes. Like
Yeah.
I said, it doesn't work for me, but if you'd like me to share that, I'll be glad to do it.
Okay.
Okay,
I was going
okay.
to ask for that because I wanted to attend.
Good.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Yeah, and I was always looking at Terry, and I couldn't find him. I wanted to invite him too. And
Oh,
as
I
I
see.
said, there may be now other evenings or other times available as long as somebody agrees on, or if the majority agrees on it.
You know what? This may be sticking my neck out, but there might be something they could share on the Clearwater website as well.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. It'd be good for people to know that, at any given time or at times that work for you, that there are devotions that you can join
Yeah,
in and just get that. Let's face it, we could do everything we're doing in total isolation, but to
yeah.
get that sense of connectedness with
Oh,
others
I love
who are
that.
doing the
Absolutely. I
same
tried for a long time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would it be possible to put the Zoom link for tonight's devotional in
Oh
the chat?
boy. Now
Put it in
you,
the chat.
Can you
Excellent
put it
idea.
in the chat?
I will try. I have no, I'm not a technical
Okay.
person. So let me see if I can.
If you click on chat at the bottom of your screen, Yuta,
Yeah, I just have to get the link first.
the
That's
door
the
will
thing.
open up and you'll be able to put it in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. Well, Daryl,
Again, thank you thank you all for joining us.
is there anything else
What
you
I
would like to?
will say is that more than ever, more than ever, in after the events of the last few days, we really, really, did I say really? We really need love, and it's going to take all of us. And when I say all of us, I mean every one of us
Mm.
to share that love with the rest of the world, so that we don't end up in the dust. Let's put it that way, so that we don't end up in the dust. We need for all of us to share that love. We're going to end up in the dust anyway, but nobody wants to end up there before our time. So I'm going to ask you to do whatever you can to share your love with everyone that you can. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week.
Let your vision be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Let it be world embracing. Watch over yourselves, please, for the evil one is lying in wait, ready to entrap you. Gird yourselves against his wicked devices, and led by the light of the name of the all-seeing God, make your escape from the darkness that surroundeth you. Let your vision be world-embracing, rather than confined to your own self. These are the words of Baha'u'llah. Be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. World embracing. World embracing. World embracing. Have a good week, folks. As
Take
Baha'u'llah
care.
says, watch over yourselves.
Allow